Oh wow, what a day. What a day at RedBud. I'm walking out, but I'll be back in the pits in a moment. This show brought to you by DID Chains and DID Rims. What drives you? Well, they've been driving high-end factory-level race teams like Honda. They've been doing it for 100 years. So check out DID Chain and see what they can have to put on your motorcycle. I'm just going to the pit to drop off my sport coat and shirt so I don't forget it when I get into the mix that is the press conference and the pits. But honestly, most days we need to go talk to riders and reflect on what happened. So much of RedBud though ends at the podium. That RedBud experience is like no other. I have the line you hear on TV every weekend. It can rival anything in motorsports, and I stand by that. There are other motorsports that are bigger from a fan base perspective, you know, Formula One, NASCAR, MotoGP, but that atmosphere, getting that close to the athletes on the podium, that's pretty darn unique. And they got what they wanted. The home track specialist, well, I guess home track racer, I wouldn't say specialist. This has not actually been a great track for Chase Sexton historically. Had never won a moto here, but this is a track he grew up racing on. And there are tons of people that you will see throughout the weekend here every year who are like, oh, I remember him 50 class, 65 class, whatever it might be. Hometown boy comes good. He gets the 1-1. The landscape was going to be different with Jet Lawrence out. That was the question we theorized on the Weege Show preview show yesterday. Was Sexton going to be better now that Jet was out? It's hard to say better because the measuring stick, he's racing in a field that has one less top contender in it, but man, was he good with the 1-1 today. And it was dangerous, that second moto with the 22-second gap. However, the end of the day, it's such a resounding period on the story that you forget how it started. I mean, Hunter Lawrence had Sexton on the ropes. Sexton caught him several times in Moto 1, and Hunter was able to hold him off, and there wasn't a lot of time left, and then Hunter crashed. But that just shows that Hunter is not rolling over. We see these beast mode type rides from Sexton, but coming into today, they had beaten each other each 5 times in motos. That first moto, Hunter doesn't go down. Maybe he wins it. So it just shows that it's not over. It's definitely, absolutely within range for Hunter Lawrence to beat Chase Sexton in some motos like he had been doing this year. But in the end, the victor gets the spoils. The winners write the history. And I cannot believe this roller coaster ride of a season for Sexton and KTM. You remember the post-race show we did at Hangtown after the worst to first ride? I feel like 3/4 of the season has been defined by frustration for Sexton and KTM to get comfortable, to get the best out of themselves. And here is Sexton holding the red plate in not only Pro Motocross, but he's the point leader now in SMX, combining both Motocross and Supercross together. That's pretty good for a guy who's been frustrated for so much of the season. We'll talk more in a bit. Be right back. Roger DeCoster's with me. First of all, you raced here, what, Trans AMA days?
Yeah, in the 70s, yeah.
And but I heard you were compelled, even you, to be a fan and take your phone out and shoot a photo of the podium.
Yeah, I won the photo of the podium with our 2 guys, but I was also in the fans. There was the Trump supporter flags and all that. I thought it was pretty cool. Okay. Towing your sides on that one, and you've seen a lot of crowds at a lot of races. Everybody's telling me this is about as good as it gets. The best. Yeah.
The best.
It was the best. Yeah.
Wow.
Really cool.
Enjoy riding that roller coaster every week. You guys are back on top. You never know.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yes. Remember when we talked to Roger and Ian at Hangtown and talked about the ups and downs of this game and this crazy roller coaster ride? Well, yep, we're back there again. Like I said, there's KTM and Sexton on top of the combined standings, the most points scored in Supercross and Motocross this year in a season that has been defined so much by the we're trying, we're not quite there, we're getting there, ups and downs. Says a lot for Roger DeCoster, the man, to be compelled to shoot a video on his cell phone because the crowd was so good. Although he really seemed pumped on that Trump sign as well. Yes. So KTM, you'll see what the scene was like after the race over here when you watch our Twisted Tea best post show ever. We were here with Chase Sexton and Aaron Plessinger, so check that out right here on the same YouTube channel. A couple of things that we actually missed. There was a battle in the 250 class. Saw Tom Viel and Ty Masterpool battling and a rider went end over end. Well, I guess that somehow Vial missed him. I don't know how. But then that bike did tag Deegan, and Deegan went down. So that's why Deegan's second moto wasn't as good. This is what I wanted to get right here. Hey, 1-2. They don't come easy.
No.
They don't come easy. I just wanted to get this. I just wanted to get, this is so cool. This is the Sexton setup back here. This is so cool.
We made the vlog.
Well, I mean, you earned it. You did the hard work. But the fact that this was so cool that the family was here, it's not like just talk, it's real.
No, it's real, yeah.
Yes.
So, but it's a little stressful too.
There was a lot more here a little bit ago.
Yeah, you missed
Well, when I came in the morning, there was like 15 people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a lot of people.
And people you don't see all the time.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Some of them we don't even
know. And a lot of fun.
Stop. After he wins, everybody's like, Chase! Yeah. But that's what made it. You kept saying how special it was, but it's this that does it.
Yeah,
Yes.
and this how many people I know here too. Like, it's crazy.
Good job staying focused through all that.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good job by Chase Sexton and his whole crew. Yes, I was over here in the morning after he had just topped the qualifying session, and he comes over to greet his group, met his grandfather. That is legit when he says home race, and he delivered for them. One little secret is that Chase had said he doesn't always do well at this track. He's not really a sand guy, and they've added so much sand to this track through the years that it kind of negated any familiarity that he would have with local soil. And he felt like this year wasn't as sandy, and that was going to work better for him. That's what he said in qualifying, and then obviously it paid off in the motos. But you know, that roller coaster that we're talking about, it'd be very easy to try to read into this and say like, look, Sexton dominated that second moto, and that's changed the game with Jet being out. But if we learned anything this year, I mean, you just do not know. Yeah, that's what I do. You're the one guy that could probably do this show like I do. Jake Masterpool, the mayor. Yeah. What is going on with the motorcycle? I feel like every week I hear another report from you where you're like, this could have been awesome.
Yeah, especially here.
Again? We have another one?
Yeah.
Okay, we're halfway to the year.
It wasn't the motor, this one.
Okay.
And it was tough. I don't want to dog on them because they're great guys and they're really trying to help.
Yes.
And it was just, there's only so much you can do when you have a different mechanic every weekend.
Yeah.
So right now I'm just at the point of just like, I need a serious guy that's going to be here every week and get it good, just because I'm, just frustrated because it's like, man, I'm not even scratching what I should be doing.
Yes. Yeah. And the same thing happened at Southwick. You had it, right? Yeah. You were in the show, and then you ran into problems.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, especially here. It was like it was frustrating because like the first practice I had no brakes and my clutch wasn't working, and I was like, what was the time? I think it was like 9 seconds slower than time. And at home, I mean, rarely is it ever. Right now, obviously ripping.
Yes.
Good.
Yes. But it's not 9 seconds a lap.
No.
Yes.
Every if it's a minute lap time, it's about 2 seconds.
Yes.
Second and a half.
Right.
Average.
Yeah.
And like when I'm really on it, about a second.
Yes. So it shouldn't be 9.
No, it's a joke.
Right.
And then we luckily got it fixed, and it was pretty good. And then by the time I got good with the bike, and the lap I went to punch it, I just jacked it up, and I got held up really bad, But I went 4 seconds faster.
Even with that.
Even with that.
And that was the only good lap you had.
Yeah.
Or goodish.
Yeah. So I just didn't perform. So that's what I'm pissed about.
Okay.
I didn't do not even close what I should have.
Yeah.
That second session because I was just getting used to the bike. So just pissed off about that. And then the LCQ, can't believe I was in it. But anyway, I messed up the start, and then man, I did good after that first lap. I started trucking forward, and there were some really good guys in the LCQ. I was surprised about that.
Yeah, there were. Yeah.
But man, no, the speed was good. Felt good with racecraft. Yeah, so I was pissed. I really wanted to be in that race because I knew I would have.
Somebody help this guy out. Any mechanics out there?
Yes.
We're down to only like 5 more races. It wouldn't even be a big commitment.
Yeah.
Just
honestly,
help
right
Jake
now,
out.
I'm just looking for one to stick through. And
I'm just saying, we only have to go July and August. That's all we need.
Yeah.
That wouldn't be that hard.
Yeah.
Hang out with Jake. Hang out with race winners.
Exactly.
That's what they do.
Yeah. You can have a dinner with the Ty Masterpool and call him a
this
little,
is what
SHIT.
This is your dangling carrot. You're dangling.
Yeah.
You want to hang out with Ty? Wrench for Jake. That's sad but true.
Hey, Desperate Ty's called for Desperate.
Okay, you'll take it.
We can.
All right, better luck at Millville.
Yeah.
It's gonna work out one of these weeks. Jake Masterpool, who we used to call the mayor back in the amateur days. He was such a cool guy. It is Weege right here. Are you stealing cable or are you helping pack up? You're stealing cable. You're just like, dude, my house, I could use a half a mile of cable.
I'm trying to clean up. Just help clean up. You're my hero, dude.
I appreciate it.
You're the man.
I think those cables are probably for our TV show, so I appreciate that.
I know.
One group I want to point.
I will return them.
Yeah, just use it for the weekend and bring it back by Tuesday. There's a group over here I want to point out. This is so cool. I'm just gonna walk by. Behind me right here is Mitch Payton talking to the legendary Larry Myers. Larry Myers, that's what motocross is supposed to sound like. I don't know if Larry wants to do TV anymore, so I'm not going to interview him for TV, but I wanted to point out that that was Larry Myers, who, as I say, motocross sounds like Larry Myers. That's what I grew up listening to. Larry Myers is here. He comes to RedBud. He'll be back at Unadilla as well. And I pay Larry a lot of compliments, but he's kind of one of those old school guys that the more you compliment him, the more he insults you, which is actually a compliment from him. Anyway, he's hanging out with Mitch Payton. When you come to the races, everybody knows Mitch Payton. And good to see Larry at the races, who was, I mean, I could say my hero growing up. I mean, this is what I always wanted to do. And he was the announcer, the very first motocross race I ever watched on TV, 1985, Unadilla USGP. It was Larry Myers giving the call. And about 4 or 5 times he's come to a race and I've shook his hand and I just said, you are what motocross is supposed to sound like. And in a way, I try to emulate you. I don't sound like Larry, but in the back of my head, there are certain ways that I do things because that's the way it's supposed to sound. And good to see Larry Myers still at the races, hanging out with the Richies, and he'll be back at Unadilla. The Masterpool story, again, I've been mocked. My friends did not believe. There is Masterpool winning a moto straight up over Deegan. He's that legit, he's that good. Moto 2, he admitted, he got tired. Couldn't hold on for the overall. I really thought we were gonna have 2 out of the last 3, but that's all right because Chance Hymas ended up winning, which is awesome in its own way, to get a new winner. And I've followed a lot of different racing through the years. This is gonna sound like a weird tie-in. I remember 10 years ago, I was actually doing some reporting for NASCAR actually, and Martin Truex Jr., who had gone through the ringer. There's my Stasic kid. There you go.
We're good friends.
We are good friends. We are good friends. How is this gonna tie in? You were like, how are you gonna tie Martin Truex Jr. into Chance Hymas? I remember interviewing Martin Truex Jr., who had a really rough couple of years in his career. Then his team, Furniture Row, started to get it together. He started to drive really well, perform really well, whatever term you want to use. And I interviewed him and I said, do you feel the pressure to, while you're hot, get a win, just so you can get a win, you know, while it's hot? And he said, nah, I think the wins are gonna come. But that is really the thing. Racing is fickle. That's that roller coaster ride that we talked about. And for Hymas to be close, you never know week to week. You could be hurt the next week and miss a bunch of races. While you have the momentum, while you're hot, you gotta deliver then. And he did it. He's got that overall win. No matter what happens from here, they will never be able to take it away from him. There's been a lot of talented, good, great potential 250 riders who were this close to getting wins. And for whatever reason, it didn't work. You can't take it for granted. So good on you, Chance Hymas. Racer X truck, you guys headed back to Motown.
Oh yeah.
Yep, there's quite a history of the, we're gonna try to make it all the way after RedBud.
Hammer down.
Yep, I mean, and with a trailer, we'll see, you're gonna make good time with this.
We got back from Southwick.
Waiting on Mitch.
Where's Mitch?
Waiting on Mitch.
Mitch is ruining it. What about the Unadilla challenge? Unadilla is the furthest. Will you take the challenge? You better go, bro.
No, we're waiting.
Oh, Mitch is screwing you up. And now the TLD semi is gonna beat you. Thanks, Mitch. All right, I'm getting my backpack. We're done. Thanks to DID for backing the show. Congrats to our winners, Chase Sexton and Chance Hymas. What a wild season it's been.